What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This once again is Scott Porter back for day number 4 of our brand new unboxing series for WizKids HeroClix Marvel's House of X. Boom! That is right, House of X is here, and it is pretty incredible. Such an amazing book to pull from, Jonathan Hickman's run to open up the Dawn of X with House of X and Powers of X. And man, it is deep reading. He has reworked the entire universe of X-Men, how they work. You've got all mutants living together. Good guys, bad guys, cats and dogs, the whole thing. And they are forming new teams and new relationships. And it is incredible to read. And it's also incredible to see on the tabletop here. You see some of our favorite characters kind of being reimagined. We've gotten a couple of team-up cards over the first couple of days that give nods to older lineups. Oh, look at that. It looks like I'm a two-headed man with Professor X on one shoulder. We have seen some nods to older stuff. We've gotten some characters we've never seen before, like Shard. We've gotten Psylocke, but it's Quanon this time, not Betsy Braddock. Very cool. We've gotten a couple of super rares, Juggernaut and Old School Apocalypse. There hasn't been a ton of villains in this set. It is a lot of just mutants. And they all get to play together now. And that's really, really cool. Really cool. We've got the Quiet Council. We've got the 5. If you've read the book, you know who they are. If you watched the first 3 days of these videos, I tried to explain them to you, but everything is so dense. I'm sorry if I haven't done a great job explaining what happens in that book and what I'm hoping to see in this set. But it's really hard to talk about what I'm hoping to see in the set without first giving you the context of why these characters are existing the way that they are right now. So, still a lot of characters out there to be discovered. I want to see Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, for sure. I want to see Brian Braddock as the Dark Knight pawn of Morgan Le Fay. Getting Morgan Le Fay actually would be really cool in this because Excalibur deals almost exclusively with Otherworld and all of the mystical, magical stuff. We haven't seen young Cable. Haven't even really talked about him. Man, I want him. I want him in this set. There was a really cool book, Fallen Angels. It was dealt with Quanon and Cable and X-23 together with a couple of random characters like Bling and Husk who were really just there to fill out a team. They didn't do anything. But young Cable specifically, how he fits in now with House of X and Dawn of X. And then, you know, we're in X of Swords right now. Every Wednesday, we're getting a new issue of X of Swords, which I bet you, I would put money on the line that X of Swords will be the next mutant-themed set, and it will be incredible. But young Cable still played a big part in the early stuff as well, so I wonder if we get him in this set. It would be very cool. So the doors are wide open. Any mutant could walk through it. I'd love to see Black Tom. He's very instrumental on the island. I want to see Doug Ramsey, Cypher. We saw Sage already. She plays a big part on Krakoa. We've seen a lot of members of the Quiet Council. And yeah, so without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. If you didn't watch days 1 through 3, please pause, go back and watch it, and catch up with us, and we will wait for you. Now remember, this set comes out December 9th. Just in time for Christmas. I know what's going on my list. Just in time for the holidays, December 9th. This set comes out, so get your orders in with your local comic shops, your local game stores, and see what we can see. We got 2 super rares, 3 super rares already. We got Kate, Pride, Juggernaut, and Apocalypse, but the Apocalypse was the prime super rare, so we've been doing pretty well. Let's see if we got anybody new in this booster. Oh yeah, we do. Armor. Nice. Armor in this booster. Oh, we got the man himself, the man that everyone loves to hate now, but I do not. I do not. Cyclops was right, and he is in this set. He's right there. We got Tempest, a member of the 5 that we got yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and put her to the side. We got Elixir yesterday as well. So we've got 3 members of the 5. I do want to see Hope, and I definitely want to see Proteus. The new Proteus, you know, he's back. He's, you know, and he's not crazy. And he's a member of the 5. I mean, he's very highly regarded on Krakoa. And so that's a big want for me. But we got 3 members of the 5 with Egg and with Tempest and Elixir. This is Domino. We've already gotten that Domino. So only 2 new figures in this booster, but a pretty big one in Cyclops. Now, a lot of people might ask, like, why is Cyclops not on the Quiet Council? Wasn't he a leader of the X-Men for so long? Well, he kind of fell off. He kind of fell off there for a little bit, went a little crazy. You know, had a like, oh, yes, but we got a team-up card. Oh, great. That makes 3 over 4 days so far. 3 team-up cards. Yes, team-up cards have come to Marvel there in this set. But yeah, no, he is one of the 4 captains. So you've got the Quiet Council. The Quiet Council is the people who behind the scenes make the decisions about what happens on the island. They made the laws of the island. All mutants welcome. Kill no human. And if you do break those 2 rules, you get exiled like Sabretooth did, which I talked about yesterday. But then in times of need or in times of war, they have captains. And I can't remember the 4th, but 3 of the captains are Cyclops, Magic, and Gorgon. I can't remember the 4th, who the 4th captain is, but they're all very deadly in their own right. And Magic is hilarious because in the New Mutants book, when they go into outer space, Magic, once it becomes time to battle, Magic steps up and she goes, I'm a captain. That means I'm in charge. Everybody follow what I'm saying. And everybody's like, a captain? What are you talking about? You're a captain. She's like, it's a big deal back on Krakoa. Just listen to me. And she is deadly, man. Magic is awesome. So that's another character I want. I want Gorgon and I want Magic. Hardcore, I want Magic. All right, anyway. Let's take a look at Armor and Cyclops here real quick, just to look at their sculpts, and then we'll take a look at their cards. Man, see, we have gotten so many cool characters over the first few days, and I still just want to, I'm so needy. I want so much. I want so much. Armor, let's take a look at Armor. Armor is really cool in the story because she's kind of going back and finding mutants that people kind of forgot about. So in New Mutants, the ongoing book, she goes to find Beak and Angel and try and bring them to Krakoa. And she means well. Doesn't go well, but she means well. Armor has New Mutants, X-Men, and Armor keywords. Set number 40. She comes in at 45 points. She has a special defense power. We help each other. That's what we do. Defend. Invulnerability. Giant reach of 2. Special damage power. Everyone get behind me. Stop. When this click is first revealed after resolutions, you may place Armor in a square within 3 squares and line of fire. Let me take a peek here at the back there. The cool thing about the New Mutants ongoing book, and I think I said this on one of the days prior, is that it follows the original New Mutants. Bobby, Mirage, Karma, Wolfsbane. She's back and she's doing very well. She licks everybody, but she's doing very well. And they go kind of into outer space. They're with the Shi'ar. But it also tracks other younger mutants that fell into that New Mutants, Generation X, X-Men Academy, kind of fold. And it follows Armor kind of, and Boom Boom, and a couple other characters, Glob Herman. That would be a really interesting. It would be cool if we got Glob, because you can see his skeleton inside the kind of translucent pink jelly that surrounds him, and he'd be a really cool sculpt. So maybe we get him. I don't know. But it follows a lot of these younger mutants in the pages of New Mutants. Hickman writes the original team, and then another writer comes in and writes these shorter stories about what's happening on Earth with the youth in the X-Men universe. All right, Cyclops. Here we go. Cyclops, Starjammers, X-Factor, X-Men. Here's that sculpt. He's got that dark blue and black outfit that he wears on the island now. Very, very cool. It's got sibling rivalry, leadership. Once per turn, when a friendly character named Havoc, yes! Yes! That means we're getting this boy. That means we're getting Alex. We're going to get Havoc. He's one of my all-time favorites. He's right up there with Iceman. Havoc, Havoc's so cool. Okay, great. Sorry. Back to the card, guys. Once per turn, when a friendly character named Havoc hits, modify Cyclops' combat values by +1 this turn. Special movement power. You will forget who you are for a minute. Force Blast and Sidestep. When Cyclops hits with a range attack, after resolutions, all hit targets can use Battle Fury until your next turn. Let's see. Going old school, lost trust, time for a different way, learning from mistakes, advanced training. He's got a lot of the boring old standby quotes and stuff. Let's see. On the back of the card here, pretty solid dial. I wanted just a little bit more damage output, I'm not going to lie, because Cyclops is kind of, he gets unbridled with his powers now. He's not as scared to lose control as he used to be, which to me makes him a lot more interesting and also a lot more dangerous. So I would have liked a little bit higher of a damage output there. And I compare both of the Summers brothers, I think, constantly to like the old school veteran Havoc with a 4 base damage on his first couple of clicks. And I feel like Cyclops and Havoc should have that high damage output. The other cool thing about Cyclops in the House of X storyline, in the actual pages of House of X itself, is he's sent basically on a suicide mission with a special task force to eliminate Soul's Hammer, which is being built by this horrible collection of human beings who are scared of mutants and want to end them. And they are building a mother mold in orbit around the sun, which can be moved. The mother mold pumps out master molds. Master molds pump out sentinels. And they want to use all of these sentinels to eliminate mutants. And it's really awful. They are sent him, Mystique, Nightcrawler, Monet, Jean Grey, and a couple other people on this mission to the sun, basically, to destroy this mother mold, which they do. They are successful at. But they get ripped to shreds. And Scott's bravery in that moment is very cool. And there is an amazing speech that Magneto gives him before he walks through this Krakoan portal to the sun. And it's basically, you'll never be forgotten. They don't know about resurrection. This team doesn't know that resurrection is a thing. Xavier thinks resurrection is going to work, but he hasn't told anybody. And so they go and sacrifice themselves. And that still shows Scott's character through and through. Everything that Scott Summers has ever done is so that mutants can thrive. He's made some wrong decisions, sure. But I think Scott is a hell of a lot more interesting now and deserves a lot more love than he gets. Rant over. All right. What am I drinking now? What's in Scott Porter's cup? Now I've switched to Cherry Coke. We've come out of the morning. We're now in the afternoon. Hyper RPG's been here with me all day, and it's Cherry Coke time. I tried to find Cinnamon Coke before today. I went to 6 Walmarts. You know how far Walmarts are in Los Angeles, by the way? They say they have them online. Nobody's got Cinnamon Coke. If anybody's got a lead on Cinnamon Coke out there in the world, please let me know. It's one of the greatest Coke flavors of all time. All right, I'm done. Here we go. Cyclops has a team-up card. Again, we've only pulled 3 of these out of 7 boosters. So not too sure what the rarity is going to be. He's got Starjammers, X-Factor, X-Men. Oh, this is rad. This is the old X-Factor, or the original X-Men team. Angel, Archangel, Beast, Iceman, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl. If 2+ listed friendly characters are on the map, Cyclops and listed friendly characters can use PD, team ability. After revealing forces, you may replace character cards with their alternates. You can't choose a team up if your starting character shares a name. So, the rest of Cyclops' card is all the same. You can see that it's set number 19, and then the team up card is 19.02. If you only collect Marvel HeroClix, this came out in Justice League Unlimited as well. But the team up cards here, his entire dial is going to stay the same. All of his powers are the same. It just means he gets this bonus of the PD team ability when teaming up with the original 5 X-Men or the original 5 X-Factor, which they were for a while. Okay, awesome. So we've got another team-up card. Good. Okay, we're moving along. We've already pulled our 3 super rares, so now I'm just interested in getting, really high variance within all the rest of the characters that we get. I'm hoping for less dupes and more figures so I get a better baseline of what we got in this set. I know from Wolverine's team-up card of the 1000 X-Men storyline, the X-Men Year 1000 storyline, that we're getting Rasputin and North, hopefully, and a few of those characters, so that's really cool. I want to see them. Here we go. The new head of X-Factor Investigations, Polaris. Boom. And another member of House Summers that maybe you wouldn't expect to be around or be welcome, Vulcan. Awesome. We've pulled Shard already. Oh, yes! Oh, there we go. This is who I have been waiting for. Moira X. Finally, we get the lady of the hour, the crux of all of House of X and Powers of X. It all revolves around Jonathan Hickman's brilliant idea to make Moira a mutant and how he lays that in. It changes everything. that we knew about the X-Men over the years. It changes everything. So that is so cool. I'm so excited to have her here. And then we've got a Sage, but this is not the same Sage that we already have. So we're definitely going to have to take a look at her. I think the Sage that we have is actually from the Fast Forces. And then we have Shard, and I just want to make sure that this is the same Shard that we had prior. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, so 4 new characters in this booster. We got Sage, we got Polaris, we got Vulcan, and we got Moira X. And I think I'm going to start with Polaris. Why not? All right. Polaris is still trying to kind of find her way on Krakoa as well. And she starts up the new X Factor. And she goes out in search to solve some mysteries that are happening. Some mutants who have left and have gone missing. Very much in the same vein as the old X Factor investigation stuff with Jamie. Madrox, unfortunately, is one of the characters that I'm like kind of bummed of how he's used in the whole House of X, Dawn of X situation. He's just used basically as like a guy who pumps out dupes to watch very necessary mutant areas, that all around the world, and he kind of reports back. He just has become like a drone guy, a drone producer. And it kind of bums me out because I love Madrox. He's one of my favorite all-time characters. But Polaris is taking up the mantle of X Factor now, and let's see what she does in this set. This is not the costume she wears in Dawn of X and X Factor. She's cut her hair all off. She looks really cool. A nice fresh pose for her. This is a little bit of an older look. Polaris has Starjammers, X Factor, and X-Men. She's got My Father's Legacy as a trait. Once per turn, when an opposing character is placed after resolutions, you may place that character up to 2 squares away from their current square. That is awesome. Fantastic. And that's the thing. Once per turn, not per your turn, once per turn when an opposing character is placed. So as soon as they're placed, you get to shift them. As soon as they're placed during that turn, you can push them back a little bit. They can't get that close to you. That's great. Also has a special attack power, Magnetic Pulse, Energy Explosion, and Knockback. Awesome. Okay, take a look at the back of her card here and see if I can pick it up. There we go. A little bit of running shot, telekinesis, that special attack power as well. Great. All right. Not her current costume, but that's okay. Because what we're seeing, especially with these team-up cards, is that these X-Men are kind of being seen as Swiss Army knife versions of themselves. They can play nice with a bunch of other characters as well, so very cool. Let's take a look at Sage next. Sage, X-Force and X-Men keywords. Set number 8 comes in at 40 points. Has the Mutant CIA and has Team Logistics and Coordination, Leadership, and Outwit. Okay, yeah, she's very behind the scenes. Very, very behind the scenes. I think the last time we had an X-Men set, I asked everybody out there, what's your dream X-Men team? 6 active field members and 1 support member, back at whatever base the X-Men are at. Sage is definitely that for the new X-Force. Not a long dial, but enough of a support piece, I think, to warrant being on the board. I wish she would have had a little bit more range in all of this because she's not actually on field duty in the books. She stays on Krakoa, and all of the data coming in and out on the island, she is on top of. Just getting it all, processing it all, this mutant computer brain that she has, and then she's relaying it to everybody. So I wish she had a longer reach on Outwit or probability control, et cetera, but still definitely worth a spot on a team. Let's go with Vulcan next. All right, Vulcan is set number 37A. Oh, shoot. Does that mean we can get a little War of the Realms, Emperor Vulcan situation here? Do we think that's what we're going to see? This is the friendly Vulcan. He's got X-Men and Cosmic. Gabriel Summers. He comes in, a couple of different point values, 140 or 75. He's got a trait, Omega level energy manipulation, but he can be disrupted. This is the second time we've seen Omega level energy, Elixir had an Omega level reference on his. I'm surprised Iceman didn't have Omega level on him. I wish I wonder if we're going to get another Iceman that has like a quote-unquote Omega level trait. Anyway, back to Vulcan. Omega level energy manipulation, but he can be disrupted. When Vulcan is hit, after resolutions, give him an energy disruption token. Modify his defense by -X, where X is his number of energy disruption tokens. At the end of your turn, remove his energy disruption tokens and heal him that many clicks. So if you're going to try and put him down, got to put him down quick because he's going to get that life back. Special movement power, I am the universe. Hypersonic speed. When Vulcan uses it, after resolutions, he may make a close attack targeting a character that hasn't been hit this turn. So he gets a free little attack at the end. He's got 10 movement with that hypersonic speed as well as a 7 range. Pretty great there. Not as much of a beast as I thought he might be, but I bet you that Prime is going to be just bonkers good. So there we go. So we've discovered that Bishop has a Prime, Vulcan has a Prime, Apocalypse has a Prime. I think we're just missing one Prime member. I don't know who else is going to have that Prime there. Okay, last but not least, the lady of the hour, Moira X. You've heard me talk a lot about all of her different lives that she's lived, the timelines throughout they go. I want to see how they encapsulate all of that into a figure. Here we go. Moira X, Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men, future, past, scientist. Moira Kinross, which is the very first life she lived. She lived to be a very ripe age of 76, a very kind life. She didn't know she was a mutant. She died, and then she woke up a baby in her mommy's belly. Yeah, that's right. In the womb, she became aware of where she was, and she still had all the memories of her first life. So you can imagine that second life was a little bit rough. Here we go. I have learned from my many lives. Moira X can use the standard powers printed on her card for lower click numbers, her previous lives. Okay, another trait, the uncanny life of Moira X. Moira X isn't a standard character, can't be equipped or a pilot. Moira X takes a maximum of 1 damage from attacks, cannot be healed, can't be chosen for Mastermind or Krakoan Revival. Protected from Pulse Wave. Okay, so I think I'm getting what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make sure that each of her clicks is a life lived. So I don't know if they gave her 10. I mean, I doubt it. She only comes in at 75 points. But, you know, she's lived 10 lives. I think her 6th was the one that, like, lasted in, like, over 1,000 years, where she sees the end of even the human techno-organic race they evolved to. Their ultimate sacrifice to the phalanx, actually, is what ends that storyline. And so ends the 6th life of Moira McTaggart. But yeah, Moira here, I think they're trying to make sure that each of these lives are lived in order. So you can only do 1 click of damage to her. And every time she takes a click, she can use, in addition to the powers on that click, the powers on the click prior, because you start on click 1. Only 1 click of damage, she goes to click 2. That means on click 2, she can use stealth and running shot, incapacitate, and precision strike, super senses and energy shield deflection, support, and empower. Then you've got charge, you've got blades. That's very much when she was the assassin. You've got sidestep, and then you can use all of these powers. So that is crazy. So by the time she's on click number 5, she's using 20 powers. She has access to 20 different powers when she's on her 5th life on click number 5. That is such a cool element. And the fact that she's only an uncommon means that everybody's going to get their hands on her. That is really cool. Everybody's going to get to try her out. Interesting, though, they only gave her the Brotherhood team ability. Of course, they had to do that because if they give her the X-Men team ability, she can heal. And you can't do that. There's no way to heal her or get her to go backward in her lives. That's one of the more impressive cards and game element thoughts as far as a power goes. Actually creating this piece that can use all of the knowledge she's learned through her past lives. That's a really cool application of comic knowledge into a HeroClix piece. I'm highly impressed. Bravo, WizKids. Well done. All right, guys. That's it, man. All we have left is these 2 boosters here. That's it. We've got 1 day left, and that is tomorrow. So before we go today, some information to share with you. December 9th, the set drops. Make sure you get some pre-orders of your cases or bricks in with your local comic shop, your local gaming store. You know what they mean to us. Pay it back a little bit. Thank you so much to Hyper RPG Studios for allowing me to be here. Go check them out on Twitch and on YouTube. All their content is worth watching. It's high quality, very fun, and they have a great community over there. So jump in and mix it up with them. Thank you to WizKids for sending me this incredible set. I have not been disappointed. The little kid in me is going nuts, and the adult in me is joining him, dancing around like Dazzler around a bonfire on Krakoa. I'm so happy with everything that I've pulled so far in this set. The application of powers and storylines into their power sets and these figures is very good. It's very good. You can tell that the people at WizKids were very into this set. I wonder how far the storyline got along, though, before they started putting characters in. Haven't seen Sebastian Shaw, and we won't, because Krakoan Revival, the Krakoan Revival thing, it tells us which Quiet Council members are in this set, and Sebastian's not on here, but he's a huge part of Marauders. So I think maybe they started producing this set right after House of X or Dawn of X, when they knew what the team makeups were going to be of the books in front of them, but they didn't quite know where that storyline was going to go. And it's always a tricky thing, and somehow WizKids really navigated this incredibly well. So thank you again, WizKids, for sharing this with me and just producing such a dope set. I think I do owe you guys a Krakoan Revival, a look at the Krakoan Revival card real quick before we go. I just wanted to do that so you can see exactly how you resurrect, and you can see these bystander tokens. I know we've gone over it on day 1, but I just wanted to show you again, just so you can get an idea of what Krakoan Revival is. You can pause it on that description of it and take a look at it and understand it a little more. Such a cool game mechanic, and they did so much of that in this set. Anyway, tomorrow is day 5, and I will see you all back here then. But until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Oh, it's a 10. So close, but they look like 2 X's. All right, peace.